year, people are predicting what the next trends in web design are going to be, but a lot of time these trends tend out to be just hype and fads, and they really don't change anything. And so in this video, I want to share with you some things that I think everybody is talking about today, but actually are not web design trends. They're not going to here to stay. They're not going to change anything. And actually, I want you to be careful of not just making a mistake and following them, although they are actually not really helpful. The first one of these is spline. Now, last year, I actually was talking about the rise of 3D because of software like Spline. But this year, after a lot of people have started actually implementing and using this, turns out that it actually hinders performance in the website. And so trying to be cool and add 3D elements to your website, a lot of times we just make it slower and it doesn't really load very fast. And at the end of the day, if you're thinking about doing something cool versus making your website load super fast and creating a bad user experience for people, the business as actually will choose performance and having a website that loads super fast. So while it's very cool to create 3D elements with Spline, where it's very cool that you can natively integrate them into Webflow websites and create complicated interactions, the bottom line is we want our website to load super fast, and Spline files are just making them slower. And so I don't think that we're actually going to be seeing a lot of good websites that are actually using this technology in the future into 2025. The next thing is Rive. So Rive is the new cool kid on the block. It's kind of like the new type of loady file where you can embed an animation, vector animation, also make it interactive, react to your mouse. And while it's very cool, and it's also very cool that you can embed it into a Webflow website, the truth is most websites don't really need this technology. Most websites don't need these fancy animations that are interacting with your cursor or stuff like that as you're clicking buttons. Yes, it's very cool and useful if you're into gaming, if you're creating mobile apps or games for websites. That's great. But if you're creating business websites, if you're creating professional content website that are meant to convert or to show what a business is actually doing, you don't really need this technology. And so again, it's a waste of time. It's not really useful. And I don't think that we're actually going to see a lot of websites that use this technology into 2025. Next topic is subscription agencies. So over the last 2 years, everybody was talking about the subscription agencies. Everybody started charging flat rates and then having endless revisions or whatever the clients wanted. And I think that by this point, we're seeing that this model actually doesn't work for most clients and most designers as well. So while there are some really great examples of success, like Brett from Design Joy, who's been phenomenal at doing this successfully, a lot of other people are actually giving up this model. I have to say, as somebody who tried to hire designers using this model, we really felt like it wasn't working for us. Felt like there was a conflict of interest, like the designer we were working with, maybe just trying to make a very fast delivery so that they can move on to their other tasks because they're trying to get as many clients as possible. We ended up just hiring somebody in-house for us. And so the model is probably people hiring designers want to work closely with them and not specifically through an async Trello board where they never talk to them and just pay a flat subscription fees. So while the appeal of subscription and consistent revenue for designer stays strong, I don't think that this model is going to stay strong going into next year. A lot of people realize that it's not such a great model for them. Next is AR and VR. When Apple came out with the Apple Vision Pro, everybody was talking about the future of design. We need to have spatial design, and they were excited about designing apps and designing interfaces for this, new platform. But it was very obvious very quickly that this product is not picking up. This is not the future of computing for us so far. And definitely, if you're spending time there right now, you're probably wasting your time. This is not something that's going to be mainstream in the next few years for sure. So this just turned out to be a hype. And lastly, AI. While AI is not a trend, obviously AI is here to stay. I do think that after all of the hype and after trying all of the different tools, we figure out that, at the end of the day, the core skills don't change, right? Even if you have tools like Reloom that helps you set up wireframes and create some copywriting for you, or you have tools like Midjourney or Visual Electric that helps you generate a lot of images. At the end of the day, as a web designer, you still, if you want to deliver good websites and good experiences for your clients, you still need to work closely with them. You still need to go through strategy, and the copy that AI wrote, you're going to either need to give it endless context to have that work well, or you're going to have to hire a copywriter, or you're going to have to write it yourself. And using images for AI, yes, it's nice to replace stock images, but then a lot of the businesses that you're going to work with can't rely on stock images. Whether you're working with an e-commerce business that has actual product, or you're designing for a local business like a restaurant that has their actual restaurant, you still need to work with photographers or know how to take photos. You still need to have an art director or have the vision and taste to know exactly what style are you looking for. So the core of being a designer and the core of our processes are not changing because of AI. I also think that the pendulum always swings. So now that it's so easy to create visuals and images with AI, it becomes really easily visible what images were created with AI. And so there's really, I think, going to be a shift back to how can we create images not with AI, really images that look human instead of just like the perfect images that are coming through AI. And I think that this is actually what we're going to see coming back. Handcrafted things, taken photography that doesn't look like the trained perfect images that are coming through AI. These are my thoughts and predictions. Let me know in the comment below what you think are the trends for 2025. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next video.